So that meeting came at the end of a long week. Jonathan mentioned Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. At the G20, President Trump again declined to place any blame on MBS for the murder of Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi. The pair were seen chatting among world leaders before the G20 class photo in Japan, where President Trump praised the Crown Prince.
The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, a friend of mine, a man who has really done things in the last 5 years in terms of opening up Saudi Arabia.
Mr. President, we addressed the murder of Jamal Khashoggi, sir, with the Crown Prince.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Mr. President, on the case of Jamal Khashoggi, we have a lot of journalists in this room who object to what appears to be the Saudi government's complicity and perhaps orchestration of the assassination and dismembering of a journalist.
Yeah.
And when you were given the opportunity to call Mohammed bin Salman out on that, you did not do it. Did you do it privately? And do you agree that it is despicable for a government to kill a journalist in that fashion?
Yes, I do. I think it's horrible. Or anybody else, by the way.
Yeah.
But I think it's horrible. And if you look into Saudi Arabia, you see what's happening. 13 people or so have been prosecuted. Others are being prosecuted. They've taken it very, very seriously. And they will continue to. I will also say, and nobody so far has pointed directly a finger at the future king of Saudi Arabia.
You mentioned that no one had pointed the finger at him, but actually the CIA did, the intelligence communities.
I cannot comment on intelligence community. I'm not, probably, I guess I'm allowed to do what I want to do in terms of that, right? We can declassify, unlike Hillary Clinton. She decided to just give it out. We can declassify. The truth is that I just don't want to talk about intelligence.
David Ignatius, the president, suddenly not willing to comment on intelligence, which has made a tent pole of his argument, the deep state and everything else. But the questioner there was correct. The CIA concluded that the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, whom the president praised effusively at the G20, ordered the execution and everything that followed from there of your former colleague, Jamal Khashoggi.
For people who knew and admired Jamal, and I'm one of them, it was really deeply disappointing to see the president essentially give Mohammed bin Salman a pass in this big public forum. The president's role should be about accountability. The Saudi judicial process, such as it is continuing. At the very least, the president could have said, we await and expect a clear verdict that holds those responsible for the murder of Jamal Khashoggi accountable. He didn't say that. I think it is troubling. It's of a piece with so many other things that we saw this weekend. The president's comfort level with dictators, authoritarians. You know, it often seems these are his people. These are his guys as he travels around the world. These are the people he makes deals with. In this particular case, this is a murder case, and the president stands for all of us as Americans who are concerned about an American, my colleague, who got murdered. It's really, really disturbing to see him just basically drop that. How ironic that he's suddenly the best friend of the intelligence community. I can't possibly talk about intelligence here. That's a new one for President Trump. But it was. Of all the things that happened on this weekend, I think that was the one that had me just shaking my head.
The president even managed to turn that question to Hillary Clinton somehow. The president said that the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia is doing, quote, a spectacular job. And when asked about the murder of Jamal Khashoggi, he said MBS is, quote, very angry about it. Still ahead on Morning Joe, a top Trump official said on Friday reports about migrant children being held in terrible conditions were unsubstantiated, but new reporting shows an internal watchdog warned about one facility in May. Plus, President Trump has largely stayed away from attacking Senator and 2020 candidate Kamala Harris. But over the weekend, his son Don Jr. stepped in. We'll get to that.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.